relationship. And staying for the sake of the kids when it's like that, you're lying to yourself. It's bullshit. I was lying to myself that I could hide it from the kids, that I could protect them, I could be the buffer. No, you can't, and they are being damaged. And
you see some women in an unhappy relationship, and you tell them, why are you not going? And they tell you, I'm staying because of my kids. I'm there, like I'm staying. Oh, you ask your mom, like, why didn't you leave earlier? And she was like, I was there because of you people. I'm there because of your kids. I'm because of the kids. I'm staying in this abusive marriage because of the kids. You see women that their husband is beating them blue black, like when they wake up, this place is swollen. Their hand, they start massaging it with hot water. They will tell you, I'm not going to go because of my children. I don't want another woman to come and raise my children. The question is, are they really staying because of their children, or they're just being selfish, or they don't even know what they don't even know what they are saying? Because even the child that you're staying there because of, do you know the damage you are causing to those children? Or you think your children are not seeing what's going on? Your children seeing you unhappy alone affects them. Seeing that you're unhappy, just seeing that you're like, it affects them. Now seeing it constantly and seeing another person, or maybe your husband, treating you bad, it affects them very, very much. And they now realize that you are still staying there and collecting those insults, and you're not going, like you don't have a choice to leave. It also affects them. So my question is, are these women really staying because of the children or something else? Two women came out to share why they left, why they finally decided to leave an unhappy marriage, things that were happening in the marriage and all of that. And the two of them were saying that they left because of the kids. But they were saying before that they wanted to stay because of the kids, but now they left because of the kids. Let me roll the clip for you all to watch to the end, and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
I was married for 24 years. I got married 2 weeks before I turned 20. We had 3 children together. And when I got a divorce 24 years later, it took a lot to get me there. It took a lot of pain to get me to the point of willing to divorce. I endured, I suffered, I begged, I pleaded, I tried. I read all the books. I went to therapy. And I still stayed 10 years longer than I should have. And when I finally pulled the trigger and I finally ended that marriage, you know why I did it? Not because of me, not because I knew that I deserved better, not because I knew that I was dying in that marriage, my health was suffering, I had autoimmune issues, I had depression, I was overweight, not because of any of those reasons or because I just wanted to be happy, because my kids were being affected. That's why I left. When I saw that my kids were being traumatized by the behavior, that's when I found the courage to leave. And you know what? I had a conversation with my daughter the other day, and she said, Mom, what? I'm mad that you didn't leave sooner. I'm mad that you didn't do it sooner. And she's right. She's right. I should have, and I didn't. The pain of staying had to get so bad. The fear of change was no longer as big as the pain, right? The pain of staying got bigger than the fear of the change. And that's when generally the human condition is, that's when we leave. We need a crisis. And unfortunately, that's what happened to me. And women are much more likely to endure the suffering for themselves. But as soon as the kids are involved, we get all mama bear and we'll do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want that for you, because what I learned from that was very valuable. What I learned was, it's not noble to suffer for the rest of your life because you're scared of making a different choice. It's not righteous to stay in an abusive, toxic, dysfunctional relationship. And staying for the sake of the kids when it's like that, you're lying to yourself.
Yes.
It's bullshit. I was lying to
true.
myself that I could hide it from the kids, that I could protect them, I could be the buffer. No, you can't, and they are being damaged, and I have to now I have to take responsibility for the impact I had by staying too long, the impact I had on my kids by staying too long, and I'm taking responsibility for that, and I'm learning. You can relate to this. What I want you to hear from my story is this. You know, in your intuition, your gut, you know you need to leave. And you're staying because you're scared. You're staying because you're scared of disrupting the family, of the conflict, of looking like the bad guy, of guilt, of finances, of whatever. But that fear is keeping you in denial, and it's making you tell yourself that it's all okay, that you can do it, you're strong. You need to tell yourself the truth and wake up to the reality of what's really going on and how it's really affecting your kids and what needs to happen. And then you need to get the support that you need in order to make that decision. When I started working with a coach, it gave me the support and the courage to actually leave my marriage. You need to stop being in denial and stop telling yourself that you can do it, you're strong, it's going to be fine, you're staying together for the kids. No. If your gut is telling you you got to go, you got to go. And that means you got to figure out how to go. And that means you probably need support. Don't stay 10 years too long like I did. Don't do it. Because if I could go back and do that over, I would have been out of there way sooner. And I would have had way more time to build my new life. And my kids wouldn't have had to go through more trauma. So this is my message to you, because I wish I had had somebody say that to me back when I was, 35 years old, stuck in a shitty marriage, being cheated on, being abused. I wish I had had somebody say this to me. Wake up to what's really going on. Tell yourself the truth about what's really happening, and then decide that you are going to start getting support now before you get to a crisis point. That you're going to start working on yourself now, to build yourself up now so that you can make that challenging decision. Because honestly, that choice to leave takes about 10 seconds of insane courage. That's it. Everything else is worrying about the decision. What's going to happen? What's going to happen after? But saying it out loud, I want a divorce and I'm going to figure it out and I'm out of here. 10 seconds of insane courage. Everything else will be figure-outable. Everything else will figure itself out. But delaying that conversation is just keeping you in stress. It's keeping you suffering. You don't need to do that. So tell yourself the truth. Get real with what's going on and get support. And if you want that support, I am here for you. You know how to find me. You can go to the link in my bio. You can see all the ways you can work with me and get support. I have free support. I have all sorts of levels of support. There is no reason why you can't have support. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your happiness. Get the support. There is no reason why you can't have support here. And trust that as you do that and you work on yourself and you work on focusing on you, figuring your shit out, figuring out how to make that challenging decision that you know you need to do, that you've been putting off, let's go. Because life is short. You only get one life.
You only get one life.
I want you to live the life that you're meant to live. And I want you to find out how capable you truly are, how powerful you truly are. And I am here to help you do that because I know that's the truth about you. So let's go.
Many times people think that children are not aware of what is going on, and they even use children as a reason for staying. They give the excuse of, I'm staying because of my children. But just like this comment, I'm going to share with you my own experience as regards why I finally had to leave. You see, I'm a dreamer. Except to call me Josephine. I dream a lot. I hear God a lot. And I also see revelations. Like as I'm looking at this screen right now, I can just see, God can just bring some pictures to me. And I'm telling you this because God spoke to me, showed me how to escape many times through these means, dreams, hearing, and seeing. There was a particular day I was washing a white ceramic plate, and it was like the ceramic plate turned to a TV, and I was seeing myself and my children running, and I saw my ex coming, and it was the scenario of the children of Israel running away in between the Red Sea and avoiding Pharaoh. That was the scenario I saw. Now, that's not even the one I want to share. I want to share with you how, after receiving so many revelations, dreams, and all that, and I was still afraid to leave. My reason for being afraid to leave was not even because of my ex. It was basically because of what people would think and say, because I was also thinking divorce is a sin. I was thinking, oh, I can't divorce. And I was also afraid, I was like, I'm literally living in one hell. I don't want to go to another hell for trying to avoid this hell. At least this hell is still better off than the hell of eternity. That was all my mindset then, until it was getting close to the time I was going to leave. I remember that I had called the domestic helpline, and they had told me if I was ready to move, I should call them back, because as at that time I was still contemplating. And I just prayed one last prayer. I said, God, I don't know. I need just one last sign to let me know that you want me to leave, and this decision, you approve of it. So on this fateful day, it was a Thursday, I will never forget, and I was getting my older son ready for school. My younger son was not yet in school. It was barely 1 year plus, and few months. Normally, I and my ex, we never shared a room. So it was in his own room, the room meant for the kids anyway. He was there sleeping, and I was in her room, my room, and the children's one. I was getting my older son ready for school. I remember vividly how I had worn the uniform completely, and I was trying to just adjust the one coming out of his trousers. And he just said, Mommy, you're not feeling fine. You're sick. I think you should take me, my brother, and without our daddy, let's go. I was like, okay, I didn't say the exactly we said it. He said something like, you are tired. You are sick. You need to go. Take me, myself, and my brother. He mentioned the name. I don't want to mention my kid's name. He mentioned his brother's name. Let's run away without daddy. That was what he said. That was all I needed. That was all I needed. I was like, okay, this is God speaking. This boy, as at that time, was barely 4 years, and I was like, okay. Obviously, yes, he had seen few of the incidents, but you cannot tell me I told him anything. Many times we think children are not aware of what is happening, but what you don't know is they are fully aware. They just cannot articulate what is happening. That's the only difference. But if you think your child isn't aware of what is happening, you are only deceiving yourself. And that child, as much as they cannot articulate it, they are open. You will get up, take them away to safety. And I want you to also know that they know it won't be easy to start with. They know it's going to be a difficult journey. And that is why you need to also carry them along on the journey. Don't just jump pack them and, yes, you sometimes when you first want to leave, you may not be able to tell them, because children may know, they don't have filter, They may end up telling the person you don't want to know about your plan. However, as soon as you're out, you need to, at the level of their understanding, tell them why you're leaving, explain to them, and you'll be surprised how they will say they know. I didn't need to do much. In fact, I didn't do any explanation to my children as to why we are leaving. They were glad. The first day we got to the refuge, we all slept for the longest time for the first time. Usually, myself, as at that time, my sleep was just barely 2 hours per night. Having roughly in total 14 hours sleep a week. That's crazy. That's not normal. My children, I noticed they were always awake, always startled, and jittery. Yeah, I didn't know until I left. That night, the first night away from that house, the three of us slept for 6 hours straight. We didn't wake up until morning. That will tell you how much even our senses is aware that we are not safe. I was always in that freeze, flight, or fight mode. And I was always at alert. Like God, it was so high. These are the things that you don't know is happening to you. If you find yourself struggling to sleep, if you find that you're beginning to forget things, if you find that little things upset you, or you just start crying without any explanation, or you find yourself always being careful of what to say, you don't know what to say, and somebody is going to get angry. If you find out that being in the midst of people, you are wondering what they are thinking about you, then I think it's time you should take a leave. It's time for you to take a walk, because it will not get better until you leave. And I want you to know that God is more important. It's more interested in your well-being, in your life, than that marriage. God is more interested in you fulfilling purpose than that marriage. And as far as I know, that I believe, and I know with all conviction and assurance, if you cross to the other side of eternity today, God is not going to ask you, did you ever marry? He's going to ask you how you lived your life to fulfill his purpose on earth for your life. He's going to ask you how many of your talents that he gave you use. He's not going to ask you, how did you get married? Who did you marry? How did the marriage go? Yes, I'm not saying this may not affect your relationship with God. But again, if he's going to take away God from you, why are you holding on to it? I hope this helps someone watching this to let you know that staying in an abusive marriage because of your children is you not being sincere with yourself, or you are ignorant, or you just don't want to take responsibility and take action, right? So if you're watching this video and you're still with your abuser and you think that money is the reason, I want you to know that money is the last. Because if you ask from anyone who ever fled, at least 90 to 95% of us didn't have money when we were living, but we chose to leave because you are better off sleeping under the bridge, feeling safe, than under the same roof with someone who is definitely after your life. Yes, I know under the bridge may sound weird and harsh, but trust me, there's a kind of peace of mind you would have when you know that nobody's after your life. So ladies, guys, whoever you are, I want you to know that your children are watching you. They are internalizing everything. The problem is, it is either they become exactly the thing that they are watching, which is the abuse, or they normalize being abused themselves. Those are the things you are teaching them the moment you still choose to stay in an abusive marriage or relationship. I pray you find the strength to leave. I pray you receive the courage to go. I pray you receive the strength and the help that you need, even more than I did. I received lots of strength from strangers, people I've never met and may never meet, and God really came through for me. And I know that God is not partial. I know he is also interested in you. I pray it will come through for you, raise up for you, and you will come as victorious at the other side. Thank you very much. And please, love yourself enough to live, even now.
I feel like using children as an excuse for you to stay in an abusive marriage or an unhappy relationship is still, I feel like that is what our mothers were using then. So I don't expect new generation now or women now that are married to use that anymore, right? In fact, you should even be wise now not to just open your legs and start having so many children that you cannot take care of as a woman by yourself, right? So you being stuck in a man cheating on you back to back, doesn't respect you, is a narcissist, it's just everything you don't want in a man, and he's doing that for you, and you're stuck there and you're saying you don't want to go because of your children. You're just being selfish because these kids, they see everything. They know what is going on. They understand what is going on to their level. They might not fully understand it, but their level, they know that you're not happy. These children know when you're sad. They know when you're happy. They know when you're happy. They know when you're sad. And when every time they are always seeing their mom sad, it will affect them one way or the other. It might either affect them in school, or they might not even want to talk to you about it, and they want to talk to strangers about it outside, or their teachers or something, someone that they trust outside from you, because of course you're not even happy, you're always triggered. Because if you're not happy as a mom, if you're not happy, you get easily triggered, you're irritated, you're just, and all these things is happening just because of one partner that you're with is allowing you to have all these different feelings, and is affecting your own children. So I just feel like when a woman say that she's staying in the marriage because of the children, and think about the children, you are staying because of children, is a lie. You are just lying to yourself. You are there because you still want to be there. It has not hit you hard that you want to leave, right? It doesn't go to the stage whereby you just like, okay, you know what, I'm done, I am going. You've not gotten to that stage. If it wasn't that stage, you will leave. Even with the children, with or without the children, you will go. And I feel like these children, they understand when you talk to them their level, right? Try to explain it to them in their level. They will understand and they will adjust. It will not be easy at first, but they will adjust. Children, I feel like children always adjust, and they know. They know. I just feel like they know, right? Am I right or wrong? I just feel like these children know. And when you are now there, I feel like when you're there and you're taking all those BS, maybe your child is seeing how the father is beating you, and you are there, you're still there, you're teaching them how to accept this kind of relationship. And that is why when these children, this type of children, they grow up and they are with boyfriends, and you know, and if the guy is not beating them, he's not shouting at them, he's not raising their voice at them, he's not, you know, trying to command them and try to be authoritative and all that, they don't see it as love, because that is what you taught them. That is the way you taught them how relationships are supposed to be. They are checking you out because you are the first relationship that they are seeing. The mother and the father are the first relationship that they are seeing. Okay, this is how relationships are supposed to be. And you're already teaching them how it's supposed to be. So if you're teaching them wrong already, you're already, you know, building the wrong foundation. It affects them. Some might not even want to be in any relationship because they don't like the way you were feeling, or they be like, I don't like the way my mom used to be, men are this, that, that. And they don't even want to have anybody to, you know, they don't even want to be with any man, right? Because they've seen how it was, or how you were even there. And some women even go as far as dying in the situation. I feel like that is even worse, because you see some women, their husband beats them, but they will still stay till the husband beats them till they die, right? And I wonder what are the children going to be thinking about, because the memory that will be on those children's head is my dad was beating my mom, like, it's really sad. And I just feel like the longer you stay in this kind of marriage, the worse it is. And I feel like sometimes when we think that these men are going to change, they don't end up changing. Once somebody has shown you who they are, that is exactly who they are. They do not end up changing, because we women, we always try to give these people benefit of doubt. Oh, let me see if it's going to change tomorrow. Or maybe he try to manipulate you by changing for like few days, few weeks, few months, and you're like, oh, things are getting better. They switch back to who they are, right? So they don't change. It's not left to you to, is either you're going to manage in that situation for life, or you leave, right? And when you want to leave, you know, you already have your escape plan, you already have your exit plan. It's not like you just wake up one day and you leave. It's advisable to always plan your exit down, right? So that you are already ready for whatever is happening. What is your take on today's conversation about women that choose to stay in the relationship, abusive relationship, and unhappy marriages because of children? What is your take on this conversation? Let's have a conversation down in the comment section. And thank you so much for tuning in today's video. It's your girl Maya David, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and kindly on the post notification bell so you can get notified as soon as I upload another interesting video like this one. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.